Hey guys, Coach Adam talking to you again today, answering your questions that come in through text and through DMs. Today's question is, do you have fruit on your Bikini Girls meal plans? Please elaborate. And that comes from Lynn's Pits. So thank you very much for your questions. So the reason that people are afraid of fruit is because of the sugar and the bad rep fruit gets. But really, it's not as bad as people think. So I absolutely will have it on clients' meal plans if they want it. And sometimes I just put it on there either way. But there's a couple times of the day where even having a high glycemic or an insulin spike is actually ideal. So post-workout, when we're trying to spike insulin and drive nutrients to muscle cells that just worked out really hard, is absolutely a good time to have high glycemic index carbohydrates. And not all fruit is high glycemic index. Not all fruit is gonna give you that big insulin spike. Sometimes you're gonna have rice that's higher than some of the fruits. So it's not really about the fruit and the sugar, it's more so about the fruit getting a bad rep of being sugar and more so about the glycemic index of that particular type of fruit. Some fruits are really high in the glycemic index, and the higher the glycemic index, the more likely it is that you're gonna get a little bit of an insulin spike that is going to be the undesirable part of it. And the reason it's undesirable for people is that insulin drives nutrients to cells. So not just muscle cells, but also to fat cells. So if you have a whole bunch of insulin spiking off and you have a whole bunch of extra calories, and let's say you have a whole bunch of fat in the bloodstream and your body stores it, it's a lot easier for that insulin to basically drop it off. Think of insulin as a train dropping off passengers, and those passengers are nutrients. You know, the higher glycemic index of food that you eat, the more spike of insulin that you get, the faster the train's gonna move, and the less time you have to use that energy as a source of energy before it gets stored as energy. So that's why people are avoiding it. Now, remember, you also have periods of the day where you want to store energy, where you want to store amino acids, and that's post-workout. So what I say is, you know, I'll generally keep fruit out of the diet for the most part, except for post-workout. And then in the post-workout, I'll intentionally try to spike insulin and have a fast digesting protein with it. So like a whey protein, maybe some amino acids, and just drive amino acids to the cells with that higher glycemic index carbohydrate or sugar or whatever. But the cool thing is, because we're trying to spike insulin post-workout, it gives you a lot of freedom in that post-workout. That's the one time a day where maybe you can look forward to it and have something that's like a pure sugar that's not on your menu plan that you can have fun with. You know, I have some of my clients just looking forward to their workout so they can have their post-workout and they have, you know, gummy bears and things with sugars in them and whatnot. Now, I don't do that really in season, but off season, absolutely do it all the time. Now, the other thing you need to take into account is when you're afraid of like high glycemic index foods, understand the glycemic index of food will change if you're combining it with other foods. So if you have a banana by itself, the glycemic index of that food, or how your body's going to, the glycemic index of that food stays the same, but how your body is going to digest it and how it's gonna have its actual effect on your insulin is gonna be a lot lower if you have a banana by itself and you have a banana with oatmeal and peanut butter or something. So all that food has to digest at the same time. It's not just the banana going through. So it's gonna have less of an effect on your insulin. So I wouldn't worry about it so much. I think that if you love having fruit, talk to your coach. Maybe you can work it in your plan on a couple meals of your day, but it definitely is not gonna have the negative effect that it has like the name for, where if you just eat fruit, you get fat. It's not gonna work like that. So thank you so much for the question. I hope this clarifies it. Please keep those questions coming in. Shoot me a text. Thank you so much. Talk to you later.